This is KVUE News Midday.
Texas filmmakers making their voice heard. The stand happening at the Capitol to support local films and the economy.
Plus, House Republican leaders plan to hold a vote today to push the repeal and replace Obamacare. We'll have an update coming up. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Mays.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. Well, taking a look outside, it is windy out there today.
That's right, a bit cooler as well. Here's a live Here's a live looker at the Pennybacker. Can you tell I've been here a while? Let's get a check on our forecast. A little sleepy. I'm sorry, Eric.
It's bedtime for Brian. Someone give him his bottle. Here's a live look outside of the state capitol. Lots of blue skies, some light, high-level clouds out there, but for the most part, it is gorgeous as long as you can get through those breezy skies. North winds coming in at 13 miles an hour after a cold front pushed through us that dropped our temperatures. We're still in the 60s at Camp Mabry, lower 70s for ABIA. Temperatures across the viewing area hanging around the majority of us in the mid to upper 60s. Mason, the coolest, currently at 62 degrees. Here's a look at our 24-hour temperature change. The cold front dropped us anywhere from about 10 to 15 degrees in the last 24 hours. Nice day out there if you can manage these winds. These are your sustained winds, but gusts topping out anywhere from 20 to 30 miles an hour. Hang on to your hats today. Breaking down your temperatures, this is what it's going to look like. Lots of sunshine out there, below average. That's not the case the next few days, so I'll chat about your forecast, of course, for Friday and the weekend coming up in just a little bit. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you so much. Happening right now, members of the Texas film community are making their voices heard.
They've gathered at the state capitol this morning to urge lawmakers to support the local economy through film. KVUE's Corey Coffin live at the Capitol now. And Corey, what's their main goal today?
Well, good morning to both of you. They want lawmakers and the governor really to understand that the Texas economy benefits from having a local film incentive program. Now, in an environment of budget cuts this legislative session, the Texas Motion Picture Alliance is trying to keep as much money as possible in the budget to fund the Texas Moving Images Industry Incentive Program, known as TMIIIP. That's a program that offers tax incentives for production companies to film here in Texas, bringing in local jobs and other economic boosts. People out here trying to lobby today argue that the smaller the fund is for those incentives, the fewer productions in Texas, costing jobs. Austin Film Society says the program has generated $1.25 billion in economic impact.
It is $5.15 for every dollar spent towards, and it's proven itself, you know, and we need to stop bipartisan politics. I'll have to tell you, I'm a conservative-leaning person, and my conservative stances are about job creation. You do not eliminate jobs, you know, so let's keep our jobs here. Let's keep Texans in Texas.
Now, in 2013, the program was funded at $95 million. In 2015, legislators slashed that to $32 million. Now, lawmakers are looking at eliminating the incentive program altogether. There are about 50 people here today lobbying lawmakers to try to keep that from happening. Live at the Capitol, I'm Corey Coffin for KVUE News.
Corey, thank you. Well, the man accused of stabbing 4 people, killing 1 at the University of Texas on Monday, claims he doesn't remember what exactly happened during the attack. 21-year-old Kendricks White has been formally charged with murder. The other 3 victims who were stabbed have been released from the hospital. According to police documents, White told police that he did not remember the attack after being arrested. When White was asked if he knew why he was in police custody, well, White responded, quote, "Yes, accusations of pushing someone down and I think using a bladed weapon." And then later he said, quote, "If I did something I don't remember, then I want to be told." He's now in jail on a $1 million bond.
The family of Kendricks White released a statement about Monday's attack, expressing their condolences to the victims, families, and students affected. They say in part, quote, "News of this tragic event came as an unfathomable shock to the White family, and they're doing everything possible to understand the state of their son's mental health leading up to enduring the tragedy that has occurred."
Well, family, friends, and peers of the UT student killed in Monday's attack continue to comfort one another as they remember the life of freshman Harrison Brown. Last night, thousands gathered on the steps of the UT Tower to pay their respects. President Greg Fenves gave a compelling speech on the legacy Brown is leaving behind.
And our thoughts are not enough to bring Harrison back. What we are left with tonight is a new reality, a painful reality, that our lives have forever been changed.
And the Ransom Notes, that's the a cappella group Brown was part of. Well, they shared memories of Brown and the impact he had on the musical group. They'll have a tribute for Brown at their final concert tomorrow at UT's Texas Union Theater.
After several days in the hospital, one of 3 victims of Monday's stabbing is now back home with his family in Katy. 20-year-old Stuart Bayless was stabbed in the back and in the hand during the attack on Monday. The stabbing severed Stuart's tendons and blood vessels in his right hand, injuring that hand. After undergoing surgery at UMC Brackenridge, doctors say in time he should again have full use of his hand. Stuart says he can't recall much about the attack. His family says they are grateful he's alive and grateful for the support they've received from family and friends. Stuart expects to be back in school coming up this fall.
House Republicans are confident they have enough votes for their plan to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act.
Even as patient groups, hospitals, and some big insurance companies have spoken out against the proposed bill. ABC's Janae Norman on Capitol Hill, where the House will vote later today.
House Republicans wrapping up the marathon session to round up support, now confident they're on the cusp of victory.
We cannot wait for how Obamacare is collapsing. We have to transform this, and that's what we'll do today.
The Affordable Care Act is simply not working for the American people. It is limiting choices. It is rising costs.
Wednesday gaining 2 key votes with a new amendment giving states $8 billion over 5 years to help cover Americans with pre-existing conditions. Sounds like a lot, but the medical community says that $8 billion is just a drop in the bucket. The American Medical Association warning that people with pre-existing conditions will get second-class health care coverage if they're able to obtain coverage at all. Democrats are warning of dire consequences.
I want you to look and keep your eyes on who will feel the Trump care's mother of all bombs of health care dropped on the American people. God have mercy on your soul.
The current House GOP bill phases out Obamacare subsidies in favor of tax credits to help Americans buy insurance, ends penalties over time for Americans without insurance, phases out the expansion of Medicaid, and allows states to opt out of the requirement that insurers cover basic health services like maternity care, mental health treatment, and even ambulances.
After 7 years, you came up with this? You gotta be kidding me.
In addition to patient groups and health experts who've come out against the bill, today the CEO of California's largest insurer, Blue Shield, called the Republican health care bill flawed, saying it would keep Americans with pre-existing conditions from being able to get affordable health coverage. Janae Norman, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Calling for justice, the family of a teen killed by a Balch Springs police officer says the department's not doing enough. They're pushed for criminal charges.
Williamson County deputies on patrol cracking down on bad drivers, where they're handing out tickets and why they say they're making no exceptions for those breaking the law.